Hey there, aquatic pet enthusiasts. I'm Shafiq, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of axolotls. Those adorable smiley-faced salamanders that have taken the pet world by storm. But hold on to your gills, because we're about to debunk some serious myths that might be making axolotl owners fail left and right. You know, when I first got into the axolotl game, I thought I knew it all. I mean, how hard could it be to care for a water-dwelling amphibian that looks like it's perpetually grinning, right? Oh boy, was I in for a surprise? It turns out there's a lot more to these little guys than meets the eye, and believing some common myths can lead to some serious axolotl anxiety. So, without further ado, let's dive into the murky waters of axolotl misinformation and clear things up, shall we? We're going to tackle the top 5 myths that are causing axolotl owners to stumble, fumble, and potentially turn their aquatic friends into very unhappy campers. First up on our myth-busting agenda, axolotls can live in any type of water. Oh boy, if I had a penny for every time I heard this one, I'd have enough to buy a solid gold axolotl statue. Let me tell you folks, this couldn't be further from the truth. Axolotls aren't just picky eaters, they're picky swimmers too. These little guys need specific water conditions to thrive. We're talking about a pH level between 6.5 and 8.0, water temperature between 60 degrees Celsius and 64 degrees Celsius, that's 16 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius for our metric friends, and absolutely no chlorine. Would you want to swim in a pool full of chemicals? Neither do axolotls. And here's the kicker, they need cycled water. What's that, you ask? Well, it's water that's been through the nitrogen cycle, where beneficial bacteria break down harmful ammonia into less harmful nitrites and then into relatively harmless nitrates. It's like having a tiny invisible cleanup crew in your tank. Ignoring these water requirements is like asking your axolotl to live in a toxic soup. Trust me, I learned this the hard way when I first started out. My poor little axel was not a happy camper until I got my water chemistry sorted out. So do yourself and your axolotl a favor, invest in a good water testing kit and keep those parameters in check. Moving on to myth number 2. Axolotls can be kept with fish or other aquatic pets. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Shafiq, they look so lonely in there all by themselves. I get it, I really do. When I first got my axolotl, I thought about giving him some fishy friends too. But let me tell you, that would have been a big mistake. Huge! Axolotls are not the social butterflies of the aquatic world. They're more like the introverted bookworms who prefer a quiet night in. Keeping them with fish or other aquatic pets is a recipe for disaster. Why? Well, for starters, axolotls have poor eyesight and will try to eat anything that moves and fits in their mouth. That includes your fancy guppies or neon tetras. On the flip side, fish with fins might nip at your axolotl's delicate gills or external gills, causing stress and potential injury. And don't even get me started on the possibility of disease transmission between species. It's like hosting a party where half the guests are allergic to the other half. Not a good time for anyone involved. So what's an axolotl owner to do? Embrace the solo life for your little aquatic friend. If you really want to add some life to the tank, consider some live plants instead. They'll help keep the water clean and give your axolotl some natural hiding spots. Just make sure they're securely planted so your curious axolotl doesn't uproot them during its explorations. Alright, let's tackle myth number 3. Axolotls need a big tank with lots of decorations. Now, I know we all want to give our pets the aquatic equivalent of a mansion, but when it comes to axolotls, bigger isn't always better. And as for decorations, well, let's just say axolotls aren't exactly interior design enthusiasts. Here's the deal, axolotls don't need a massive tank. A 20-gallon long tank is perfectly fine for a single adult axolotl. In fact, a tank that's too large can stress them out. It's like putting a toddler in a football field. They'll get overwhelmed and tired from all that swimming. As for decorations, less is definitely more. Axolotls prefer a minimalist lifestyle. A few smooth rocks or pieces of driftwood for hiding spots are great, but avoid anything with sharp edges that could hurt their delicate skin. And those colorful plastic plants and figurines, leave them for the goldfish tanks. Axolotls can accidentally ingest small decorations, leading to some serious tummy troubles. The most important thing is to provide a smooth sand substrate. Avoid gravel or large rocks that your axolotl might swallow. Trust me, an axolotl with a rock stuck in its digestive system is not a happy camper, and neither is its owner when faced with the vet bill. So keep it simple, folks. A bare-bottom tank with a few hiding spots and maybe some live plants is all your axolotl needs to live its best life. It's not about creating an underwater theme park. It's about making a comfortable home for your smiley salamander friend. Now, on to myth number 4. Axolotls need to be fed every day. Oh boy, this is a big one. When I first got my axolotl, I thought I needed to feed him as often as I feed my dog. Let me tell you, that was a recipe for one very overfed, very unhappy axolotl. Here's the scoop. Adult axolotls only need to be fed 2 to 3 times a week. That's right, you heard me correctly. These little guys have a slow metabolism and can go several days without food. Overfeeding can lead to obesity, constipation, and even impaction. Trust me, dealing with a constipated axolotl is not how you want to spend your weekend. Now, what should you feed them? Earthworms, bloodworms, and specially formulated axolotl pellets are all great options. But here's the catch. Variety is key. Just like how you wouldn't want to eat the same thing every day, your axolotl appreciates a diverse diet. And here's a pro tip. Feed your axolotl in a separate container. This helps keep the main tank clean and allows you to monitor how much your axolotl is eating. It's like having a special dining room for your aquatic friend. Remember, it's better to underfeed slightly than to overfeed. If you're ever in doubt, look at your axolotl's body shape. It should be well-rounded but not bloated. If you start seeing rolls of fat, it's time to cut back on the snacks. Last but not least, let's tackle myth number 5. Axolotls are low-maintenance pets. Oh, how I wish this were true. When I first got into axolotl keeping, I thought it would be a breeze. I mean, they live in water. How hard could it be, right? Well, let me tell you, I was in for a rude awakening. Axolotls might look laid back with their perpetual smiles, but don't let that fool you. These little guys require some serious TLC. First off, there's the water quality we talked about earlier. You need to be constantly monitoring and adjusting the water parameters to keep your axolotl healthy. Then there's the temperature control. Axolotls are cold water creatures, and keeping their water at the right temperature can be a challenge, especially in warmer climates. You might need to invest in a chiller to keep things cool during those hot summer months. And let's not forget about tank maintenance. Regular water changes are a must to keep ammonia and nitrate levels in check. That means siphoning out some water and replacing it with fresh dechlorinated water at least once a week. It's like being a miniature underwater janitor. But wait, there's more. You also need to keep an eye out for any signs of illness. Fungal infections, stress, and injuries can all affect axolotls, and catching these issues early is crucial. That means regular health checkups and being vigilant about any changes in behavior or appearance. So while axolotls might not need daily walks or constant attention like some pets, they're far from being low maintenance. They require consistent care, attention to detail, and a commitment to providing the best possible environment. But you know what? For those of us who love these quirky little creatures, it's all worth it. Well, folks, there you have it. The top 5 myths about axolotl care debunked. I hope this information helps you avoid some of the pitfalls I stumbled into when I first started my axolotl adventure. Remember, keeping an axolotl is a rewarding experience, but it does require dedication, research, and a willingness to learn. If you're thinking about getting an axolotl, or if you already have one, take these myths to heart and make sure you're providing the best care possible. Your smiley salamander friend will thank you for it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, why not give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more aquatic pet care tips and tricks up my sleeve that I'd love to share with you. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Got any axolotl care questions or experiences you'd like to share? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and maybe even feature your questions in a future video. Until next time, this is Shafiq, reminding you to keep those gills clean and those smiles wide. Happy axolotl keeping, everyone!